It is officially NBA postseason time, which means the play-in games are coming up. Though I was initially skeptical of how these play-in matches would look, I have been very impressed and look forward to watching them every year. 2025 has a card of teams that will no doubt provide some entertaining basketball. Today I wanted to break down the matchups and give you guys my predictions of how these play-in games will play out. Before we get started, please do me a big favor and like the video as it helps me out far more than I think you guys realize, and subscribe for more basketball related content. I am trying to hit 1 million subscribers before the second round begins, so let's make that happen. Starting off in the East, we have the number 7 Orlando Magic hosting the number 8 Atlanta Hawks. Two teams that are very familiar with one another as they have already faced off 4 times over the past couple months, 2 of which coming over the past week alone. Orlando and Atlanta have drastically different strengths and weaknesses. Orlando, for example, has made a name for themselves as being a staunch defensive team, as they surrender the fewest points per 100 possessions in all of the NBA. Guys like Jonathan Isaac, Goga Bitadze, and Wendell Carter Jr. are their best on this end, but the whole team works hard and defends well as a unit. Then on the other end, Atlanta is the exact opposite, as they ranked 4th to last in the league in defensive rating. But they do have a couple outstanding individual defenders in Dyson Daniels, who led the entire NBA in steals and is my pick to win the Defensive Player of the Year, as well as the late addition to the rotation, Mohamed Gay, on the interior. But any team with Trae Young on the floor, you could say is playing a man down on defense, although I think he was a little bit better this year. Now, if you haven't watched basketball this year, you may be wondering if the Magic are so great defensively, then why are they in the play-in? And the answer to that is they have a dramatic problem on offense. This is primarily seen in their deep shot, as Orlando not only refuses to shoot threes, but they also rank dead last in the league in knocking them down at only 31% this year, which is the worst a team has shot from 3 since 2016. Atlanta, believe it or not, is not an overly three-point happy squad themselves apart from Trae Young, but they at least make them at an average rate. This helps the Hawks be the 5th most prolific offense in the sport, while Orlando is 3rd to last. But this is a single game, so you could argue that long-term averages don't matter. So let's look at the rosters and compare specific matchups and tendencies. Trae Young is the first player you should think of when the Hawks come up. His only nickname on Basketball Reference is Ice Trae, as he has become well known for icing games by silencing away crowds with dagger shots in the clutch. But when you actually look at his numbers, in Trae's career, he has played in 8 do-or-die postseason games, and in these, he has only shot an abysmal 22% from deep on over 8 tries a game. That is a different kind of ice. A good defensive team like the Magic are surely going to stick to him like glue and force either difficult moving shots or passes to teammates. Thankfully, Trae has some excellent shooters around him in Zachary Risachet, Vit Krejci, and Georges Niang, all of which have shot over 40% from deep over the past 2 months. As good as Orlando's defense is, better offense usually comes out on top in the NBA. Of course, we have to talk about Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner, the 2 most valuable players in Orlando. Both guys are shot creators with great size, good handles, and all-star level confidence. Paolo prefers to do his work on all 3 levels, which can work, but 27% of his shots are long twos, which is less than ideal. That is the least valuable shot in the game in points per attempt at less than 1. This shot diet, along with his poor long-range shooting, hurt his effective field goal rate significantly. Franz, on the other hand, takes more higher value shots, but is so awful at making his threes that it leaves him not much better. So what I see happening here is Orlando playing suffocating defense from the jump, which will give Atlanta a hard time in the first half, but I don't see Orlando having the firepower to pull themselves away. Then in the second half, I bet Atlanta will come alive from deep as the legs of the Magic players become a bit heavier. Give me the Hawks to win this one, taking the 7 seed. Moving on to the other East matchup, we have the number 9 Chicago Bulls hosting the number 10 Miami Heat. These are two teams who have 82 game averages that you need to just toss out of the window when comparing them because of dramatic trade deadline deals that reshaped their makeup of their roster. For Chicago, once Zach LaVine was sent away, it opened things up for Josh Giddey to finally run the show, and it led to some crazy, memorable performances. After the deadline, he would average a near triple-double with a 45% long ball. Coby White, meanwhile, blossomed alongside his pass-first point guard, putting up a career-best point total on good shooting efficiencies. Chicago is one of the most three-point happy teams in the league, launching the 4th most per 100 possessions while also making them at a very high rate. Beyond just threes though, the Bulls also take the 5th highest percentage of their looks within 3 feet of the basket. These are obviously extremely efficient and dependable points. Miami, on the other hand, has a much more varied shot diet, which includes a good number of mid-range jumpers. Their big move at the deadline was parting ways with Jimmy Butler, which opened up more opportunities for guys like Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo. Though these two have unquestionably been good, 30% of Hero's looks are long twos, and Bam takes the 5th fewest shots within 3 feet of any qualified center. This is the main reason why I think the Heat have been so streaky. They lost 10 in a row, then won 8 of 12 to wrap up the year. Any given night, these shots could fall and it would make the Heat look unguardable. Thankfully for Miami, they have been falling lately. Defensively, though Miami is not bad by any means, I would give the edge to Chicago. They defend the three-point shot at the 2nd best rate in the entire NBA, while also ranking within the top 1/3 of the league in defending the rim. Their coaching staff seems to be fully on board with their entire game revolving around Moneyball/advanced tactics, and it's working. Chicago also ranks within the top 1/3 of the league in preventing offensive rebounds, which obviously eliminates second shot attempts per possession for the opposition. To go along with this, Miami is one of the worst offensive rebounding teams in the sport. Honestly, when you look at this matchup, there are just way too many things favoring Chicago. But like I said earlier, Miami has been trending in the right direction in the win column, and this is only a single game. Over their last 12 games, of which they have won 8, Miami has shot 43% from deep, which is the 2nd best in the league. High point per attempt basketball works in the long run, but in a single do-or-die game, anything can happen. All it takes is a single player getting hot. It could be Hero, Duncan Robinson, or newcomer Andrew Wiggins. It could be anyone. The Heat could run away with this game, but I believe the same holds true for Chicago. I am picking the Bulls to come out on top in this one, giving them the right to fight for the 8th seed. Which means in the final matchup of the East play-in, I have the Orlando Magic hosting the Chicago Bulls. I've already given you guys plenty of breakdown on these two teams, so I'll keep this one brief. Offensively, the edge is Chicago. Defensively, the edge is Orlando, but it isn't as dramatic. Chicago defends high-value shots very well. Orlando struggles with these looks and settles for long twos at a high rate. Josh Giddey has been balling out lately. Paolo Banchero, too, has had his moments lately. Nikola Vucevic is a force inside and can space the floor for Chicago. Orlando may not have a single go-to center, but they have a platoon of like-minded young guys who should be able to exhaust the veteran with tight defense. Chicago doesn't get to the line a lot despite their shot diet, ranking 30th in the league. Meanwhile, Orlando takes the most free throws per 100 possessions in the sport. This will be a really fun game to watch, but ultimately I am picking the Chicago Bulls to win the game and claim the 8th seed. Meaning Orlando, despite finishing 7th overall in the standings and getting to host 2 play-in matches, will be eliminated. Moving on to the Western Conference, after a dramatic overtime finish Sunday, the Golden State Warriors find themselves as the number 7 seed, hosting the number 8 Memphis Grizzlies. This is a matchup I actually was thinking about a ton for the past couple of weeks, because of how much fun it will be to watch given how drastically different these two teams play. Golden State obviously is well known for their history of letting the three ball fly. They ranked second in the entire NBA in three-point shot attempts, while also ranking 28th in shot attempts within 3 feet. The live or die by the three mantra holds very true even after the addition of Jimmy Butler. In fact, they're even better now as Jimmy gives them more consistent production elsewhere thanks to his versatility in the half court and his elite defensive pressure. Memphis, meanwhile, is rather average with their shot diet, although their physical playstyle does lead to them getting to the foul line a noteworthy amount. They rank within the top third of the league in that category. Ja Morant does a very good job carving through defenses to get to the rim, either to score a layup, draw that foul, or dish to a dunker. Speaking of dunks, Memphis ranked 5th in the league in total dunks and 1st of any postseason team. This turns the conversation to Zach Edey, who is definitely going to be the major X factor to pay attention to in this one. What I really like about the new head coach Thomas Isalo is his commitment to playing the big man regardless of what the opposition may be trying. Isalo has a history as a former player and coach in Europe. He understands the team-first mentality of moving the ball around and finding high-value shots rather than just letting your star isolate all the time. Edey has the best net rating on the team, and under Isalo has seen his minutes increase from 21 to 27 per game. And in these minutes, thanks to his elite rebounding and great post scoring and rim finishing, the Grizzlies have been a plus 65 through 8 games. The difference with Edey on and off the floor is truly night and day. Golden State doesn't like playing a center if they don't have to, but they pretty much will be forced to rely on Quinton Post or Kevon Looney in this series because they are going to need Jimmy and Draymond Green to harass Jaren Jackson Jr. and Desmond Bane. Then a guy like Brandon Podziemski or Gary Payton is going to be counted on sticking to Ja Morant. The Grizzlies have an advantage that they should be able to capitalize on, but foul trouble is a real threat that could put an end to this game plan in a hurry. Though the Warriors don't do a good job forcing their opponents to foul, you know Draymond is going to try every trick in the book to bait Edey into doing so. And due to an injury to Brandon Clark, they don't have a solid backup 5 unless they decide to throw Jay Huff out there. If the Grizz are forced to play small, then the Warriors will be in their comfort zone. If Stephen Curry can run around screens and drain shots while not worrying about the defensive end, then the game's going to open up in a hurry. Memphis has some shooters of their own in Luke Kennard or Scottie Pippen Jr., but neither are anywhere close to as prolific in their shot attempts as Curry. Golden State is actually a little worse overall in their long-range shooting, believe it or not, than Memphis, but when Curry is making his shots, it can be infectious to his teammates. I think I've spent long enough rambling about this matchup. It's going to be a great game, but ultimately I am picking the Grizzlies to pull off the upset and claim the 7 seed. On to the next matchup, we have the number 9 Sacramento Kings hosting the number 10 Dallas Mavericks. A lot of people are picking this to be the most pathetic pairing of the postseason, as both sides have either looked checked out down the stretch or have been injury plagued to the point of nearly forfeiting games. But I am personally excited to watch these two teams battle. Each player and coach will be out there trying to win, and the atmosphere in Sacramento is going to be very rowdy and electric. For the Kings, the deadline addition of Zach LaVine gave them a breath of life in three-point shooting, which they struggled with early on. LaVine shot an amazing 44% from deep on 7 tries a night in Sacktown. The team went from bottom third in the league before his arrival to the 6th best three-point shooting if you just take the games he's played in. Guys like LaVine, Domantas Sabonis, and Keon Ellis all knocked down their long shots at over a 40% clip. If they can get these guys looks, Sacramento will score a ton. On the other side, Dallas barely utilizes the 3 in their offense, ranking 27th overall in attempts per 100. And they are nothing special in making them. Their deep bench guys like Dante Exum and recent two-way converted player Brandon Williams are their only 40% or above long-range shooters. Another advantage to know is that Sacramento does an excellent job avoiding turnovers. Despite his reputation as a loser, LaVine has been very sharp with his new team, making very few mistakes with the ball in his hands. Plus, their offensive hub, Sabonis, is a very sure-thing passer himself. Dallas, meanwhile, sees their greatest strength revolve around their interior presence. Though the sample size is extremely small due to injury, the combination of Anthony Davis with either Daniel Gafford or Derek Lively beside him have resulted in some terrific rim protection, rebounding, and extremely highly efficient scoring. Though the guard play will without a doubt see an advantage for Sacramento, as LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, and Malik Monk are all great shot creators and passers, Dallas just does not have the talent around the perimeter to keep up with those guys for 48 minutes. Like I said, the edge inside may go to Dallas, but Sacktown is no pushover there. They have size and veteran experience in Sabonis, as he is one of the best bruisers in the game, ranking first in rebounding and manning the middle that surrendered the 8th fewest looks within 3 feet, thanks to he and others' good team defense. But they also have a high-quality backup in Jonas Valanciunas, who will likely end up sharing the floor with him a good bit as they try to match Dallas's size and length. Thankfully, Sabonis and Valanciunas have plenty of experience playing with one another on the Lithuanian national team. I think this is going to be an extremely physical game, likely with a lot of free throws and plenty of controversy. Sacramento is built to win right now, even if their roster has not seen much success in 2025. Dallas, meanwhile, was supposed to be built to win right now, but losing Kyrie Irving to an ACL tear hurts them dramatically. Though I expect some crazy plays inside with some memorable AD moments, I have to give the edge to the Kings, meaning they will move on to fight for the 8th seed. And this means in the final matchup we will have the Golden State Warriors hosting the Sacramento Kings. This will be an epic battle between two teams feeling must-win pressure. Golden State went all in trading for Jimmy Butler to try to chase one more deep playoff run with Curry and Draymond. Sacramento, meanwhile, has been grinding away for years, desperately trying to put together a win-now roster to take them back to postseason relevancy. Both of these teams are built to win right now, meaning somebody will be walking away with a million what-ifs running through their head. Sacramento doesn't have the best of guards to hinder Curry, but Golden State, as we already discussed, struggles on the inside with quality bigs. LaVine has been a better shooter than Curry these past couple months, but Jimmy Butler can smother just about any guard. I think we all know the popular choice, but the question is it the right choice? I'm going to go out on a limb here. I am picking the Sacramento Kings to win this game and claim the 8th seed. So there you have it, my complete 2025 play-in prediction set. I appreciate you guys watching all the way up to the end. Please let me know your picks down below, as well as your thoughts on mine, especially if they differ. I didn't go into this planning to eliminate both 7 seeds, but that is how the cookie crumbled after studying the data and watching the tape. Maybe I'll be wrong, these are just single games after all. Anything can happen. Before you leave, please do me a big favor and like the video if you have not already, and subscribe for more future basketball related content. I will be covering all of the NBA playoffs. I will be doing a draft preview, and I will be doing a FIBA Continental Championship preview. So if you want to watch that, hit the subscribe button. I will see you all next time.